Hey everybody, it's Melanie again, and this week we're talking about being true to yourself. So I discussed what that means the other day in my live, and today I'm talking about being true to yourself in your relationships. And I'm talking any relationship you have. And I know sometimes we all kind of want to come off as like we're perfect and we want to start any kind of relationship with the best of intentions. So we're kind of like on our best behavior trying to impress people. But staying true to yourself in relationships, any relationship, is so much in your best interest, because if you can't stay true to who you are, and I'm not talking like if you're a true jerk, I'm talking like your values, your beliefs, your goals, where you want to go with things in your life. If you can't be true to yourself in that, in any relationship you have, it may not be in your best interest. And why may it not be in your best interest? Because it's hiding who you really are. It's hiding who you want to be. You know, like I said, we want to start these relationships or be in relationships with people with the best of intentions. But if it stops you from being who you are and who you believe you should be, then it may not be a real good relationship for you. Whether it be family, friends, a romantic relationship, whatever it is, you have to be able to be you. And if you can't, then you need to maybe step off, because it's okay to be who you are. So how do you stay true to yourself? How do you stay true to who you are in relationships? You know, you want people to be like, hey, I like this person. But, you know, step number one is you don't have to agree with everything or like everything that they like. Like, I can remember, and I know this, I bring this up a lot because it happens when we're younger, and these are things that I can remember from when I was younger. I wanted to be friends with everybody, and I didn't want them to think that I was different than them. I wanted to think I had the same interests as them. You know, I can remember a friend of mine who had two older brothers in like third grade who was talking about Metallica, and I was like, yeah, they're cool, I like them. I had no idea who they were, but I wanted to be her friend, so I was like, all right, cool, Metallica's awesome. Later to find out, I kind of do like Metallica, but I didn't have older brothers. So, you know what? I was worried that she wouldn't be my friend if I didn't agree with and do everything that she did in third grade. But as adults, we have to, you know, as kids, that's just kind of a normal thing, but we do need to teach our kids that it's okay to not have the same interests as all your friends and not agree with everything that they are thinking, because the right friends, the right relationships won't hate you for having your own opinion, for being your own person, for being your own self. Here's another tip that I've worked with for years, and I have never been afraid to be unique. Do not hide your uniqueness. I was always the one that was the loud one in the group. I was always the one that had the big giant hair. I mean, we all had big giant hair in the 80s, but I was like, I got the big hair and it ain't going anywhere. You know, so don't hide the fact that you're loud, or the fact that you have some quirky little thing about yourself, or the fact that, you know, maybe you're a little different as far as what you like and what your friends like. Don't hide that, because that's going to make any relationship you have, I think, more interesting. Because if we all were freaking cookie cutters of each other, it would be a pretty boring flippin' world, okay? Keep your other relationships. Now, if you remember back when, I remember this, maybe it didn't happen to anybody that's watching this. Like back when I was a kid, I can remember like Susie didn't like me hanging out with Jenny, and Jenny didn't like me hanging out with, you know, Joey. And so I'm just using names. I was trying to pull them out of the air. If you have to get rid of or stop other relationships, then you're not being true to yourself in whatever relationship, whatever person is telling you, like, I mean, maybe if it's not in your best interest, like if it's like, hey, don't hang out with so-and-so because they jump off cliffs every day and do drugs. That's different. But if someone is trying to make you something you're not and tell you you can't hang out with these people or this, that, and the other because they're this, that, or the other, that's not being true to who you are. You have to have a variety of friends. And if you don't, that's okay. And if you do, that's okay. But just know that if someone's telling you like, hey, you can't hang out with them, because if you do, you can't hang out with me. Or I don't like them, so you shouldn't like them. That's kind of getting rid of your other relationships. Or especially and I see this in romantic relationships, one significant other's like, you can't hang out with them. I don't like them. That is run. Turn the other direction and run, because that is not, you're not being true to who you are. You're trying to be what that person wants you to be. And that's wrong. So this is my last tip, don't ever sacrifice your identity or change who you truly are to please other people. Because if you live like that, you will be very unhappy. And I talked about in the other episode that being true to yourself and being unique and believing in your values and following your values and goals and all that stuff makes you live a happier life. It allows you to have this variety of things that go on in your life. Like, yeah, I can hang out with these people and I can hang out with these people. Maybe they don't clash together, but this group should never tell you don't hang out with this group. Because if they're your friends, they're going to accept it. If they're not, then, like I said, turn the other direction, run, because it's not good for you to not be who you are in any kind of relationship. So if you are finding that, you know what, I can't be true to myself, I feel like I'm always impressing this person, and it gets tiring. It gets hard to continue to like everything they like and hate everything they hate and do everything they're asking you to do, and then they start expecting it from you, and then you are just completely wiped out because you're putting on a show to be in this relationship. So don't do that. Be who you were meant to be, and the right people are going to like you. You don't want relationships that you have being based off of a fake person that you aren't, that you truly are not. So remember that when you're wanting to start any kind of relationship, friendship, romantic relationship, even in your family, certain relationships are toxic. And it's okay to say no to these people and say, you know what? This is who I am. This is how things are going to be. And, I cannot be who you want me to be. I can't do everything you want me to do. And I can't like what you want me to like. Now, like I said, if this is something that someone's giving you constructive criticism, or if you not, and being true to yourself, like I said, is your values, not being a jerk, because if someone's like, hey, look, you're a jerk, you need to kind of calm down from that. That's not them trying to make you something that you aren't. It's them trying to make you better than what you are. So if the relationships you're in are not nurturing, if they're not looking out for your best interests, if they're not wanting you to succeed or wanting you to be who you are, wanting you to be a better person, you're not being true to yourself. So remember that. Base those relationships off of who you truly are, and you will be way happier of a person. So I want to thank you for getting on today and watching these episodes, and I will definitely see you in the next one. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for getting on.